Welcome back to the Prescription to Travel MD podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Courtney Downes, and today's guest knows a thing or two about living a life by design and not by default. But before I bring her on, I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking about intention. As physicians and busy professionals, it's really easy to just run on autopilot. Work, family, responsibilities, repeat, right? But living with intention means making choices that really align with the life you actually want to create. Prescription to Travel MD was created to help foster this idea, and travel is just one of many ways to reset and recharge. It's one that I've intentionally built into my own life, but it's important that we're making the effort to live intentionally from day to day too, right? Because we can't always be on some fabulous vacation or trip or some faraway land. So, here are 5 things you can start doing today to create more intention in your own life. Number one, pause and reflect regularly. So, seriously, guys, don't wait until you're burnt out to check in with yourself, okay? Even 5 minutes a day of journaling or, quiet reflection helps you see whether you're truly living in alignment with your values. And if you haven't heard of the book, The Miracle Morning, maybe check it out, add it to your reading list. It's a great tool for just creating this structured morning routine. And it's a great way to start your day with intention and purpose for those of us who like having somewhat of a blueprint to follow. But it can be really as simple as just giving yourself an extra 5 or 10 minutes in the morning to read or write or pray and have a positive and very focused start to your day. Number two, say yes to what matters and say no to what doesn't. So important. Every yes is also a no to something else, right? We have to be intentional about our time, say yes to what fills you up, and practice saying no to what doesn't, especially if it's something that's going to drain you. Number three, create space for self care. So, this isn't just talking about bubble baths or spa days. We won't get into spa days, right? It's about doing what restores you. For some, that's exercise. For others, it's prayer, it's time with family, or it's travel. Prioritize it like you would any important appointment. Number four, use travel as a tool and not just as a treat. So, I don't know about you, but I definitely get a dopamine hit from just booking travel, especially when booking like award flights and hotels. But it's important to enjoy the journey and to do it regularly enough that it doesn't leave you dreading your return to reality and looking forward to it like it's the last morsel of birthday cake that you won't see again until next year. But not so often that you're not looking forward to packing yet again. So pace yourself, but don't neglect planning that time away. Travel is really one of the best ways to step outside of your routine and gain perspective, which is why I enjoy it so much. Whether it's reconnecting with your roots, exploring new cultures, or simply recharging away from home, intentional travel creates memory dividends that are going to last a lifetime. Can't say that often enough. So, this might just be your sign to book your next trip. Number five, surround yourself with community. So, independence and solo time are absolutely important, right? So, you've heard me time and time again talk about how wonderful solo travel is and how it's been for me, but I don't try to do everything on my own. I think connection is very important. And I think being intentional about the people that you allow into your circle, whether it's your family or your friends or your colleagues, I think that's important too. I think the right community keeps you grounded and inspired and supported. And I'm lucky enough to be surrounded by incredible energy every day. It's also why I love group trips. So the chance to connect and recharge and share experiences with other people who maybe hold similar values, I think that's truly powerful. And that leads perfectly into today's conversation. So, my guest, Dr. Eva Beaulieu, she's a physician, author of 2 books. She's an advocate for diversity and representation in medicine. She's a content creator whose story spans continents. If you follow her on Instagram, you know that through her platform, she's challenging stereotypes about women and doctors and millennials, proving that you can be a dedicated physician, a mother, a wife, and still chase your dreams unapologetically. She believes that each of us is born with a unique purpose and encourages women to be bold and calculated and fearless in designing a life that they want. Her story reminds us all that if she can create her dream life, every woman can. She's going to share her journey of moving to the US as a child, her travels, and finding balance and why passports truly open doors. We'll also talk a little bit about her upcoming group trip that you just might want to join in on. I think you're going to love this episode, so let's get into it. So thank you so much for joining me here today, Eva.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So I'd love for our listeners to get to know you. So why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Dr. Ava. That's how everybody know me as. I grew up in Haiti. I was born and raised in Haiti until I was 15 and then moved to the US. My mom had came a few months before us to like start over and do her residency all over again in family medicine. So I came to the US, finished high school, did my medical school, did my residency, met my husband while I was in residency. We got married. He's an ER physician. What else? I'm a hospitalist, so I only see adult patients 18 and over only in the hospital setting. And we have 3 kids together, 17. How old is Eli? Almost 14 and almost 12. I wrote a couple of books because my passion is to help others coming behind me, helping them, motivate them to know that this is definitely a field that they can go into because I think representation matters. In a nutshell, that's who I am.
Awesome. Yeah. So we share a few similarities. My husband, he's a hospitalist and I do emergency medicine. So it's
Wow, yeah, the whippers, that is so awesome.
yeah, yes. So what was it like growing up in Haiti and then, transitioning to life here in the US?
Definitely a steep, steep learning curve because I didn't really know English like that. I mean, I understood English, you watch cartoons and things like that on TV in English, but having to come here and learning a new language, learning a new culture, adapting to new things, meeting new people, all of a sudden too, because it's not something that was planned, was definitely a lot to adjust. Thankfully, I was 15, and at that age, you adjust pretty quickly. And I moved from Haiti to Miami, and in Miami, there were a lot of Haitian people, so it made the transition a little bit more easier.
Okay. And you mentioned that your mom came here and was doing a residency here. So she was a physician back in Haiti.
Right, my dad was a radiologist. I grew up with a lot of doctors in my family. My father was a radiologist. His brother and his dad, my grandpa, were all radiologists. They did a lot of interventional radiology stuff as well as just regular radiology things, and they had their own practice, and they were helping the community do a lot of stuff. My mother was a dermatologist and also had her own practice, and with the political instability and everything happening in the country, she decided to leave Haiti and come to the US and leave us behind. And about 6 months after she left, we came to visit, and that's how we ended up staying, not even knowing that we were gonna stay. So she studied for her USMLE Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, and did her residency in family medicine because, as we know, dermatology was competitive back then and is still competitive now.
Right. So you didn't even know you were staying here. You were just like, "Oh, I'm just going here for vacation," and
Right, right, and I came with, like, a couple of empty suitcases just to buy things, that's what we did. We shopped, we bought things, we brought back home, and that was the plan, and we just stayed. So, I started high school literally in the middle of the school year.
wow. You've come a long way since then, huh? You do a really good job of just showing how all these amazing things can be done. So you're a mom and you're a wife and you're a physician and you're doing locums and you're creating content and you're authoring books and you're in the gym and you're showing us how to manage curly hair. You're doing all these things and you make it all look effortless. But I know that it takes real work to get those things done. So how do you balance it all?
I just feel like balance is never perfect. The way I look at it and the way I describe it is just like juggling a whole bunch of balls. And you try to catch everything, and every once in a while, something is gonna fall down. And what I do is just go down and pick it up and try all over again. So it's not perfect. I'm just trying to adjust to the different seasons of my kids' lives because as they're growing up, their needs become different with school, with life, with everything. So I try my best to adjust to them while at the same time not forgetting about me. And it wasn't always like this. This is something that I actually had to learn, especially after the pandemic.
Yeah, I think that changed everything for a lot of people. I know it put a lot of things in perspective for myself and just realizing, like, how short and how fleeting time is, you know? Travel is very intertwined in who you are and making sure that you're putting yourself first and it's a part of your self-care, at least that's what I've seen. So, how has it been, like, being able to, like, to share content with other people about, like, your travels and all these things? How do you balance that with your family life?
Oh, wow. Good question. So I think for me, traveling is more than luxury. I think it's survival, to be honest. I feel like I need the travel in order to like reset, refuel. And that's like my self care. That's what I like to do for myself. And I think a lot of women have been going through life going and going and going that we never really take the time to sit down and get to know who we are. What do we like? What makes us happy? Because we're always taking care of everybody else, making everybody else happy, worrying about the kids, the husband, the family, the patients, that we don't take the time to figure that out. And that was something that took me a moment to figure out that this was really what I needed for myself. And so I feel like it's survival for me at this point. I need it, and I need it a few times a year. Very expensive hobby, but it's needed.
Yeah. So prescription to travel MD was started to really just help physicians and other professionals just take the time off to reset and to recharge because you realize that you're not doing those things and we don't take good care of ourselves or as good care as we're taking care of everyone else, like you said, but we're not showing the same love for ourselves. And so I kind of feel the same way. Like travel is like a part of me. Like I don't know what I would do if I had to like sit down and stay in one place. It's become very much a part of my life. And so I love that you emphasize that for, especially for women who are, you're doing a large portion of like the childcare and you're managing patients and you're just doing all these things, but to just take some time for yourself and realize that if you don't take care of yourself, you can't pour into everyone else. You can't keep pouring into others from an empty cup.
Exactly.
So when you travel, you mentioned that travel can be pretty expensive and it's an expensive hobby. Do you use points or credit cards for for travel?
I use the American Express Delta card, and I literally my whole life is swiping that card. Everything I do, groceries, gas, any bills that I have to pay, I try my best to put it on the card and pay it right away so that I can get all the points, maximize all the points that I can get. So I've traveled a few times for free because of I've had free first class, business class upgrades on those long, long trips because of that. So, yeah, I'm maximizing all that I can get from the cards. And I know like credit cards is very taboo because like nobody's teaching us about how to properly use a credit card and take advantage of everything that you can get from a credit card. But if you do it right, it can definitely help, especially since traveling is so expensive and you get a lot of perks. You have access to, well, not only the points and the fact that you can have free flights, free upgrades, but you also have access to the lounges, and so many other things.
Yes. And you're traveling from Atlanta, right?
Yes, and Atlanta is the hub for a lot of places, so that helps because I can go a lot of places directly and not have to lay over.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who are in Atlanta, and so, yeah, using, like they're like Delta, Delta, Delta. So, yeah, Delta card is definitely a good one to have, especially if you know that Delta is gonna be, like, a huge hub for you. I do help people use points for travel, so if you have a bunch of points and you don't know how to use them, feel free to reach out, just shameless plug for me. But, yeah, using points for travel is a really good way to be able to make your expensive hobby a little less expensive and, a little less tolerable, and you can go more places, right? So, what's been your favorite place to travel to so far?
Oh my goodness, it's been so many. Of course, I love Ghana. Everybody knows that, but my husband is from Ghana and Ghana feels so much like Haiti. It's unbelievable. Like all the Haitian people that I know that have been to Ghana have said the same exact thing. It's very safe. So I love Ghana, but I also love Portugal. I also love Cape Town. And so now exploring the continent of Africa is on my to-do list. I wanna go everywhere. I love the culture, the food, the different things that there are to do. It's so rich. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. It's a lot of places to go.
A lot of places. I know. I just actually recorded an episode a few weeks ago talking about going to Ghana and some of the places and just how Africa really doesn't get the light shined on it like it should because there's so many different countries and so many different cultures and it's just so rich and we don't realize just how much like you can get from just being in the country.
Right. And it's crazy because when you leave your environment and you go somewhere else, traveling kind of forces you to step outside of your comfort zone. And it's never comfortable to be outside of your comfort zone, but that's how you grow. That's how you grow mentally, spiritually, is forcing yourself to leave your environment and go experience other things, see how other people are living, see what's healthy to them, what's not. It makes me a better doctor, to be honest. It makes me more compassionate, more empathetic, more culturally competent. It makes me a better listener. and a better person overall.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that comes into play because, yeah, you're dealing with people who have different backgrounds from you. And if you've never been in a situation where it is uncomfortable to, you don't know the language or you don't understand the food, you don't know what it's like to be in someone else's shoes. And I think I got a lot of that. I didn't leave the country until I was in med school. So I'd gone that long without, having a passport, and my husband's from Trinidad, and so that was the first place that I actually went to, and it was just such a shock, and after I got my passport, like, it was all over, like, I didn't know how to sit down, but then it really opens your eyes. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does something to you that you can't explain. You just have to I tell people I can't explain it. You just have to experience it for yourself, and then you're gonna notice what it does to you, and you're just gonna be addicted.
And America's such a big melting pot, which is what it was designed to be. It was designed to be an open door for people to come from different countries and to be here and to pursue their dreams and create, the American dream. And I love that you're, again, such an advocate for diversity in medicine and an advocate for travel and experiencing the world because I feel like the country, especially now, the times that we're going to, we really need it. And one of the things that you're doing is opening up a trip to others to experience Ghana, is that right?
Yeah, because a lot of people have asked me, "When are you gonna do a girl trip? When are you" That's not really something I had thought about before, traveling with people that I don't know. I'm like, "Okay, well, since I'm very, very familiar with Ghana and I love Ghana and it's a very safe place to go to, I was like, why not? Let me partner and let's make it happen." So we'll have a live very soon on the details, what it entails and how long the trip is for, with the experiences that people are gonna have. You're gonna come back fully, fully like your soul and your spirit is gonna be full when you come back.
Who's the trip going to be open to?
Anyone and everyone that wants to go, mainly 18 and over because, it's Dirty December in Ghana, so a lot of the places are gonna be for adults.
Alright, and do you guys already have dates?
Yes, it's gonna be from December 26th all the way until January 4th.
Okay, so December 26th through January 4th, so you'll be there over the holiday, and so I imagine New Year's in Ghana is gonna be pretty amazing. And what can people expect from the trip?
We're gonna visit a lot of things. You're gonna see the Independence Square, the slave castles, which is a must, the beaches, experience the food, experience the culture, the nightlife. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna meet new people and just have a blast.
And when they're booking this trip, like, are, like, all the accommodations and everything included in the trip booking?
Yeah, we'll go over everything on the live on exactly what's included when you book the trip. What activities are included, food, hotel accommodation, all that is gonna be detailed.
Okay, and when is the live? Because I'm not sure that this will have aired before the live episode, so I just wanna make sure that everyone has a chance to, like, get in on all of this.
Okay, so the live is gonna be this Sunday, the 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if this airs after the live, they can always reach out to me and I'll make sure to send them to the appropriate person to get all the details on the
Okay.
trip.
Well, if they're following on Instagram, we'll give them a sneak peek so that way they know that they can tune into the live on this coming Sunday and find out more about the trip, which is gonna be really exciting.
Perfect. Yes, yes.
And so your husband is from Ghana, and you said you've been going to Ghana, like, every year, and you've taken the family along with you when you've gone?
Yes, the kids. So, I'm from Haiti. My husband is from Ghana. So it was very important to us for the kids to know their cultural roots. I took them to Haiti a few times. The last time I've been to Haiti was in 2019 because of everything that's going on. That was the last time my dad was alive, and I was going frequently to visit him. I still have a lot of family there, so I took the kids there, my husband there. They had a blast. They loved it. But with everything happening politically, I don't feel like it's safe for me to take the kids right now. So eventually I'm gonna go back when things calm down. But because my husband is from Ghana, of course, we go back and forth pretty frequently. He has family there. The kids have cousins there. So it's important for them to also know that side of their roots. So we go once or twice a year with and without the kids, but the kids go once a year for sure.
How long is that flight?
Well, starting this December, Delta has a direct flight from Atlanta now, and it's gonna be like 9.5 to 10 hours, which is not bad at all. Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's about 10 hours from New York City. So before that, we would fly to New York and then go straight to, but now we can skip that step and go straight, which is amazing.
Okay, and the kids do well on their flights to Ghana?
Oh, yeah, the kids do amazing on flights. I mean, we've been traveling with them, so they're used to it now. They love it. They have their routine. They bring their iPads, headphones, they watch movies, they sleep, no problems at all. They love it, actually.
Yeah, it's a trip that I've been thinking about taking with my own kids and my own family. I've got 2 who are 8 and 10, and they usually do pretty well on long flights, so
And at that age, it's actually perfect because 'cause they're gonna remember everything. They're gonna soak it up, and you can actually take them to the slave castle, and it's gonna do wonders for them, yeah.
amazing. Well, hopefully, we'll be able to make the trip. I'm sure people will be listening, and I hope that they are able to hop along onto this, what is going to be an epic trip with Dr. Ava. Any advice that you would give to others who really just want to incorporate more meaningful travel into their lives?
I just think that I would tell everyone, especially in the healthcare field, because we pour so much of ourselves into others that when you come home and it can drain you emotionally, mentally, it's a lot. And I feel that a lot of us are waiting until we're burnt out to do something about it. And I want to tell everyone, don't wait until you're burnt out to do something about it. Traveling is a part of self care if that's what you love to do. And you don't have to start big. You can start small. You can do something local. You can do something a couple hours away, whatever that means to you. But just don't wait until, things are really, really bad for you to try and do something about it.
Yeah, it's easier to enjoy it now than to try to dig yourself out of a hole if you're already burnt out, which is very easy to get to. So, well, thank you so much for really just joining me today and sharing your story. I just love that you're able to combine all the elements into a life that's both intentional and just truly inspiring. I feel like you're just like the shining example of like the importance of taking care of ourselves and how we can just create this life of intention. So, thank you for being here, Ava.
Thank you so much for having me.
And if you guys have enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share with a friend, leave a review. It really helps others to discover the show. And if today's conversation has you itching to get to Ghana or to just plan your next getaway, make sure that you tune in to the live. If you haven't caught the live, you can find her on Instagram. She's very easy to reach. She'll respond to you, especially if you're interested in going on this trip. You can reach out to me. I'm able to help you get that information. I also help busy professionals and businesses and travel hobbyists be able to use their points and miles to book travel. So if you like a free consultation or just help putting together just the strategy of your own, so that way you can take your dream trip, whether it's to Ghana or somewhere else, just reach out to me through Instagram at prescription to travel MD or through my website. Until next time, I'm Dr. Courtney Downes, and this has been Prescription to Travel MD. Thank you.